Hello everyone, happy Thursday. It is May 7th. It is day 26 in our packet, and we are going to walk through what that work is going to look like today. So grab your packet, get your stuff all together, and the first thing we're going to look at, as usual, is our reading and module time. So for reading and module, the first thing you need is to flip to a book in our packet that we have not looked at yet called Witch Tree. And you can find this story on pages 16 and 17 of that packet. The story called Witch Tree. And you're going to follow along with the story. It's in the description below, that module video that we've been watching every day. You're going to click on that link and follow along with your story, Witch Tree, as they read that story to you. After you've listened to that story, you are going to think about what is the main topic? What is this whole story that we just read, the whole thing, Witch Tree? What is it about? What is it talking about during that story? That's the first thing that you're going to do. You're going to think about it and you're going to discuss it with an adult. After you have thought about the main topic, you are going to pick your favorite leaves and tree from that story. So you can pick any of the leaves and the tree on those 2 pages in our packet. You're going to pick your favorite one. So I'm going to show you what we're going to do after you pick your favorite one. You are going to draw me a picture of your favorite tree with your favorite leaves on it. And then you're going to tell me why you think that is the most interesting. Why did you pick it? And you're going to draw your picture just like this. And then you're going to write a sentence to match using this sentence frame. You're going to write, the most interesting tree is, and then you're going to tell me, what's the most interesting tree? Which one do you think is your favorite? So I said, the most interesting tree is the tree that looks like an umbrella. So I drew my umbrella tree and I wrote my sentence to match. So that's what we are working on in reading today. Next up, we have word work. So we're looking at word work now. And you are looking at page 20 in your packet. So right here on the side, we have our Cycle 21 list, and that's the list we're looking at today on page 20. And you are going to rainbow write, bubble write, fancy write, or type. You get to choose what you want to do with those words. But using all of those words on page 20, you are going to pick. You can bubble write, you can rainbow write, you can fancy write, and I don't know if you've done this, maybe you have, maybe you haven't, but you can mystery write. And the way that you mystery write is by taking either a white or a yellow crayon, and you're going to write your word. You won't be able to see it very well on your piece of paper. But then you're going to take a marker, probably like a dark colored marker would work the best, but you're going to take a marker and you're going to scribble all over the crayon and your word is going to show up. So this is called mystery word. And that's a super fun one if you want to try it out, but we are writing all of those words on our Cycle 21 list. And I can't wait to see pictures of what you guys choose to do. The next thing we are moving into is math. And for math today, we are talking about some more shapes. So I want you to grab your journal, a piece of paper, anything that you can write on, that you can hold on to and keep up with, and then something to write with. So grab something you can write on and write with. And I want you to think for a minute about this. Okay. I am sitting here and I am holding two shapes. So I've got a shape in this hand and I've got a shape in this hand. If you took both of my shapes and you counted all of the sides of both of those shapes, there would be 8 sides. 8 sides in total. Your job is to, in your journal or on a piece of paper, draw any 2 shapes that I could have been holding. So you're going to pick 2 shapes that when you add all of their sides together, it equals 8. So you get to pick any 2 shapes that their sides together equal 8. That's the first thing you're doing. The second thing you're doing is in your packet, you are looking at page 10. So it should look somewhat similar to this. Page 10, it's talking all about robots. And your job is to use any of these shapes, so you can pick any of those shapes that you want right here. And you are going to draw a robot. So I can't wait to see what robot you come up with. But I've got a picture of mine right here. You're going to use those shapes to draw a robot. So I've got my robot. And you are going to label those shapes. So I've labeled them with what shape they are so that I know the shape I'm talking about. And that is task 2 for math. So you should have your robot on a piece of paper made out of those shapes on page 10 and labels to tell me what shapes you used. After completing your robot, you are going to do the task for day 26 on page 11. So you're going to flip to page 11 of your packet and complete that task for day 26. All right, you guys, we're moving into our last subject for the day. We've got social studies. And in social studies today, we are talking about a new word, and that new word is climate. And climate is sort of similar to another thing we've talked about a lot that you guys are like masters of. You are pretty much Yodas of weather, and climate has a lot to do with weather. So I made us just a small little anchor chart just so we could read what climate means. And climate is a specific weather of an area or region. So I have a few climates that I want to show you guys, and the first one is the rainforest. And maybe you've heard about or seen about or even been to somewhere that looks like a rainforest. And it looks like this pretty much all year round. There's a lot of green plants and a lot of green trees, like tropical palm trees. And there's a lot of rain and a lot of just like water on the ground. But it's a pretty tropical, pretty area with a lot of rain. Another climate for you guys is the tundra. And the tundra is kind of like a mountainous area, so lots of mountains, but it's pretty cold and dry, and there's snow pretty often. So this is kind of like the tundra with the mountains and the snow and the cold river, frozen river at the bottom. And the last one that I have for you guys is the desert. So the desert is super dry. There's not a whole lot in the desert, not a whole lot of plants, but there are cactuses and pretty blue skies in the desert as well. So your job is to research or use one of those climates that I just showed you guys, and you are going to pick one and draw a picture of yourself enjoying that climate. So if you want to research, there's a ton of different climates to learn about, more than just the ones we talked about. But feel free to talk about either the desert or the tundra or the rainforest like we did. And you're going to draw a picture to show yourself enjoying it. So I have myself enjoying the desert. And I've got the desert sand. And I've got myself in my shorts and my t-shirt because it's pretty hot in the desert. And then I've got the big hot sun shining down on me and the sand. And I'm going to go back in later and I'm going to color my sky blue. I think I'm going to add a cactus. I'm going to add a few more details. But I can't wait to see what you guys come up with. So you're going to draw yourself enjoying any of the climates that you choose. I can't wait to see your pictures. And I hope you guys have an awesome Thursday, and I look forward to seeing you all tomorrow.